And welcome back to another episode of Daily News Analysis for UPSC. It is 14th July today, and we are going to discuss 7 important articles which were in the Hindu newspaper. And these articles are very much, related to your exams. So let's discuss them. Before we start the discussion, I would like to take this moment to introduce this initiative here. We had started it from the 1st of July. Every day we upload 2 videos. First one, which is this video, in which we discuss the current daily news analysis from the Hindu newspaper. We take the most important articles which are present in the Hindu newspaper and try to discuss them in the very simple language so that it would be easy to understand and useful, and the most important things, most important information could be tracked from there. And in the evening session or during the night session we upload another video in which we discuss the daily quiz. In the daily quiz we discuss few questions which are related to the current affairs so that it would help you in revising the current affairs session. And also we discuss some previous year or questions from previous year question papers so that it would give the idea how the it will give the idea about the mentality of the examiner and how the questions are asked in the exam, and how can you help the information from how can you by the help of the information from the previous year question papers, how could you eliminate many options in the upcoming exam. So please ignore my introduction. I'm not that good in introducing. So without any delay, let's start. And yeah, one more thing, please do subscribe to this channel and like the video, and please do write in the comments if any changes are needed here. So without any delay, let's start our discussion. We have to discuss first militancy on the rise in Jammu. It is the third time we are discussing this article in this month. We had already discussed it twice, but right now we will discuss it again because it is very important for the security region. Then after discussing the militancy on the rise in Jammu, we would take up India's hunt for critical minerals. After this, we would discuss Indian workers in Italy and what are the worst conditions they are going through, and you know, what are the protests about. Then we would discuss about the possible solution to man-animal conflict brought by the Kerala government. Then after that we will discuss the India-Bangladesh connectivity. Then after that we would discuss the Vibrant Village program, and finally the Chandipura virus. So let us start our discussion about the militancy in Jammu. Jammu and Kashmir, if you are very much aware about the demography of Jammu and Kashmir, and you are aware about the geography of it and the situation, political situation in it, you would be very much aware about the terrorism in Jammu and Kashmir. You know, before we start this article in a detailed manner, I would give you a little bit most basic information about the Jammu and Kashmir region. The Jammu region, उसकी डेमोग्राफी में आपको बताऊंगा, मेजॉरिटी इज हिंदुइज्म. कश्मीर रीजन डेमोग्राफी इज, मतलब कि वहाँ की जो मेजॉरिटी पॉपुलेशन है दैट इज मुस्लिम. सो देयर इज डिफरेंस इन दैट. एंड ऑल्सो वी कुड सी दैट the Kashmir, the Jammu region, it is behind Kashmir and Jammu. They are divided by the Pir Panjal range, and in the Jammu region we see dense, mountainous forests. So the geography is little bit different. In Kashmir region we see valleys. In the Jammu region we see caves and all that in those mountains. So technically, if we geographically, we would see that the south to the Pir Panjal range, it is the most suitable place for the people to hide or to attack for the attackers. मतलब कि अगर कोई terrorist attack होगा तो south of the Pir Panjal range is the most suitable for them technically. Then दूसरी बात, जो मेंटेलिटी थी लोगों की, कश्मीरीज, अगर हम उनकी मेंटालिटी थोड़ा बहुत देखेंगे, विच वाज डेवलप्ड बाय द पॉलिटिकल सिचुएशन देयर, दे आर लिटिल बिट प्रो, आई वुड से प्रो आइसोलेशन, मतलब कि प्रो, मतलब कि उनको अलग चाहिए था, मतलब कि उनका मेंटालिटी डिफरेंट। एंड फॉर द पीपल इन जम्मू, दे आर, उनकी मेंटालिटी थोड़ा डिफरेंट है। दे आर मतलब कि दे डोंट हैव दिस, मतलब कि दिस एडवांटेज, मतलब कि ये चीज़ उनमें नहीं है कि जो कश्मीरियों की मेंटालिटी वो थोड़ी डिफरेंट है और जम्मू वालों की मेंटालिटी थोड़ी डिफरेंट है। सो बिकॉज ऑफ दिस रीज़न, व्हेन, अब हम आएंगे अपने कोर टॉपिक पे। व्हेन द टेररिज्म स्टार्टेड इन 1987, मतलब कि उसकी बेस बनी थी कश्मीर में। सो द मेन फोकस ऑफ दैट वाज कश्मीर रीजन, बिकॉज एक तो पहले, मतलब कि जो कश्मीर का रिलीजन बैकग्राउंड है दैट इज इस्लाम। और यूजुअली जो मतलब स्पॉन्सर्ड मिलिटेंट्स थे दैट वर फ्रॉम पाकिस्तान, एंड इट वाज, मतलब कि जो लोकल सपोर्ट वाज विद देम, दैट ड्यूरिंग दैट टाइम देयर वाज द लोकल सपोर्ट विद देम। एंड दे फाउंड पीस विद द कश्मीरी पीपल, वी कुड से दैट, मतलब कि उनका जो पीस, मतलब कि उन्होंने, मतलब कि अपने हाइड आउट्स दे फाउंड इट विद द कश्मीरी पीपल। दे हैव वेरी मच ओवरग्राउंड अंडरग्राउंड वर्कर्स, ऑल दैट स्टफ दे हैड इन द कश्मीर। सो उनका पूरा बेस जो रहता था, मतलब उस वक्त कश्मीर में ही रहता था, फ्रॉम द श्रीनगर रीजन टू द नॉर्थ ऑफ कश्मीर। मतलब कि नॉर्थ ऑफ कश्मीर में हम बारामूला देखेंगे, सोपोर, Kapwara, all this area, it was under their control, and the people living in there were very much, you know if not they were supporting them, but there was sympathy for them. So that was the cause, that was the reason the most of the militancy was in Kashmir region. But by the time after the 1992, I would say that after, when the migration started, when the Muslim, there was a huge migration in the Kashmir, the minority Hindus, they felt unsafe there, and they started to move towards the Jammu region. And during that time the terrorist attacks started in the Jammu region also, to the south of the Pir Panjal range, especially in Poonch, Rajouri and Kathua, in this range. सो वहाँ पे भी अटैक्स स्टार्ट होने लगे, और बहुत ही शिद्दत से स्टार्ट होने लगे। बट इन 2003, बाय द हेल्प ऑफ द इंडियन, मतलब इंडियन आर्मी एंड द लोकल सपोर्ट, इट वाज इंडियन आर्मी वाज एबल टू कर्ब टेररिज्म, to curb militancy in this region, in the Pir Panjal region, in the south of the Pir Panjal region, that is the Jammu region, and it was confined to the Kashmir region only. तो इसके बाद व्हाट हैपेंड, मतलब कि कुछ, मतलब कि आफ्टर 2003 के बाद अगर हम देखेंगे इन कश्मीर रीजन इटसेल्फ, टिल 2007 और 8, इट वाज, कश्मीर रीजन वाज टेंडिंग टुवर्ड्स पीसफुल मीन्स, देयर वाज नो सच प्रोटेस्ट्स इन कश्मीर। दे जो, मतलब कि वहाँ के लोकल लीडर्स देयर, for example, we have Hurriyat Ji and Hurriyat Ji led by the Gilani, and another Hurriyat which was led by the Umar Farooq from Srinagar. So their followers started to decline, क्योंकि 2003 के बाद और 2008 तक their followers started to decline, and मतलब कि Kashmir was moving towards peaceful means, अगर देखा जाए, if we have the local information there, मतलब कि जो first hand information है कश्मीर की। But in, अगर हम देखेंगे फिर, because of some political blunders done by then government, by the Congress government then in Jammu and Kashmir, because of that there was again the unrest started, and the terrorism rose again in Jammu and Kashmir, militancy rose again in Jammu and Kashmir. फिर हमने देखा how it went from the North Kashmir to the, how it shifted from the North Kashmir to the south, and it rose, it peaked in the south after 2013-14, when there was the time of the Burhan Wani, till 2016. And after 2016 till 2019, it peaked to the highest in the south. After that, we saw that when the article was removed, Article 370 was removed, we saw the huge decline in the terrorist attacks by time. And right now, these still there are terrorist attacks in Kashmir region, but if we compare it to the 3 to 4 years back, we would see that the range has decreased to the highest. But right now, from the last 1 or 2 years, we see the trend in the Jammu region has increased. So what could be the possible reasons for the trend in Jammu, that the terrorist attacks in Jammu has increased? If we will, it has something to do with the politics also. If we would see that in if we would go back to 2 to 3 years back, we would see that there was a border conflict between China and India, we saw there कि मतलब कि कैसे many soldiers from the both sides were killed. So what happened कि India could not compromise the security in Kashmir, so they withdrew the security, withdrew the army from, or we can say security from the Jammu region to the borders of Ladakh. तो उसकी वजह से क्या था, जो जम्मू का ये रीजन था, मतलब कि सिक्योरिटी रीजन इट थिंड, मतलब कि ये बहुत कमज़ोर हुआ और बहुत हल्का हुआ. सो दिस वाज द बेस्ट अपॉर्चुनिटी फॉर द पाकिस्तान, मतलब कि उनके लिए एक अपॉर्चुनिटी मिली कि वो अपने स्पॉन्सर टेररिस्ट को वहाँ वहाँ भेजे, और मतलब कि या दे वुड मतलब कि हेल्प द टेररिस्ट्स टू यूज द जम्मू रीजन एज देयर हब. तो उसकी वजह से क्या हुआ, एक जो लद्दाख में मतलब कि इंडिया चाइना बॉर्डर डिस्प्यूट हुआ, बिकॉज ऑफ दैट द ट्रूप्स वायर टेकन टू द लद्दाख रीजन फ्रॉम द जम्मू रीजन. तो उसकी वजह से जम्मू रीजन में ये मतलब कि ये बहुत देयर वायर सिक्योरिटी थिंड, और उसकी वजह से इट वाज द मतलब कि मतलब जो मिलिटेंट्स थे या पाक स्पॉन्सर्ड मिलिटेंट्स या एनीबॉडी, they found it was the opportunity for them to settle in the Jammu areas. तो उसकी वजह से एक ये रीज़न है कि उसकी वजह से ये स्टार्ट हुआ. और दूसरी बात जो देखी जाती है कि द पॉपुलेशन, लोकल पॉपुलेशन इन these region, for example Punch, Rajouri, Kotwa region, they are very much in support of the, मतलब उनका जो सिंपैथी है इन मतलब मिलिटेंट्स के लिए, दे हैव दैट इन देयर हार्ट. तो उसकी वजह से वो उनको हाइड करते, दे गिव देम शेल्टर्स, एंड बिकॉज ऑफ दैट दीज टेररिस्ट अटैक्स हैपन. और तीसरी बात अगर हम देखेंगे, इट इज़ जम्मू इज़ प्रोन टू कम्युनल वायलेंस. अगर हम देखेंगे देयर आर मतलब कि, और दिस इज़ द अपॉर्चुनिटी फॉर पाकिस्तान एंड अदर anti-Indian, anti-Indian agencies to separate the colonialism, to separate the communalism in there, and और हिंदू मुस्लिम कुछ ऐसा करे कि जिसकी वजह से इन दो मतलब दो मेजर रिलीजन्स which are in this region to मतलब to lead to fight against each other and to lead to the communalism, or to settle, to put India into unrest. तो उसकी वजह से दिस कुड बी वन ऑफ द रीजन. और अगर हम देखेंगे जो लोकल सपोर्ट फॉर इंडियन आर्मी इज दैट हैज वीकनेड फ्रॉम लास्ट 1 to 3 years बिकॉज ऑफ सम एक्टिविटीज डन बाय द रोग ऑफिसर्स ऑफ इंडियन आर्मी. हमने लास्ट ईयर भी देखा जब देयर वाज एन अटैक इन पुंछ रीजन, एंड देयर वर some rogue officers in Indian army, they captured few locals and tortured them, and 3 of them were killed. तो उसकी वजह से क्या था कि जो ये लोकल पॉपुलेशन होती है किसी जगह की, they fear the army. It will always remember that when in any place in the world, मतलब कि अगर वहाँ के लोग अपनी आर्मी से डरते हैं, that means there is a huge problem. People should not fear the army, they should love them. वे अभी बहुत सारी चीज़ें, फॉर एग्जांपल अगर हम देखेंगे, अगर इसी चीज़ को हम कन्वर्ट करेंगे, हमने 2003 में कैसे इसको काम किया था, बिकॉज ऑफ द वी अर्नड द सपोर्ट ऑफ द पीपल देन, जो 2003 में रहते थे उधर, जो आज बूढ़े हुए होंगे, तो उनका सपोर्ट हमने लिया था. बिकॉज ऑफ दैट इन 2003-2004 वी curbed militancy in Jammu region, because we earned the support, loyalty of the local people then. Right now that is lacking, the loyalty of the local people is lacking. और हमने एक मतलब कि हमने उसी वक्त एक ये लाया था, विलेज डिफेंस गॉड्स इन 2001-2002. उसकी व्हाट आर दीज विलेज डिफेंस गॉड्स, उनकी वजह से क्या था, वी गेव द वेपन्स टू द लोकल पीपल सो दैट दे कुड गार्ड देम, वी गेव देम ऑफिशियल रैंक्स आल्सो. बट इसकी वजह से भी जो मतलब कि मिलिटेंट अटैक्स इन जम्मू रीजन वो तो कम हुए थे, बट इट लेड टू द अनदर प्रॉब्लम. उन्होंने दे मिसयूज्ड दीज वेपन्स, forced marriages were done, rapes were seen, and because of that the government withdrew this scheme. But in 2022 it has been brought back in this region. So this was about the rise of militants in Jammu region. I hope I made it very easy for you in a very simple language. you know I think this is what you need to know in this article. Now, moving towards next article, it is India's hunt for critical minerals. You know, if we have some information about it, we should मतलब कि अगर basic information हमें इसकी चाहिए और पता होनी चाहिए, that is कि government of India, they had provided mining licenses to private firms on per as per the revamped mines and minerals laws मतलब कि जो माइंस एंड मिनरल्स लॉ थे of 1957, they were revamped, and according to that amended law, the government of India provided mining licenses to the private firms. So why are these mines so important? मतलब कि right now अगर हम देखेंगे, let's understand it in a story way, मतलब हम एक basic language में इसको understand करना चाहेंगे. देखिए राइट नाउ जो हमारी पॉपुलेशन, मतलब कि द सिचुएशन इन दिस वर्ल्ड, मतलब कि अगर हम देखेंगे जो वी हैव मनी कंसर्न्स. फॉर द मेजर कंसर्न इज द एनवायरनमेंट, जो हमारा जो हम अपने एनवायरनमेंट को पोल्यूट कर रहे हैं बिकॉज ऑफ आवर एमिशंस. सो we had brought up many organizations through through which we could curb this, मतलब कि जो हम to curb our emissions. उसी में हमने लाया था कि we have to restrict the global temperature to 1.5 degree, less than 1.5 degree centigrade. तो ये मतलब ये गोल मतलब ऑलमोस्ट पूरी दुनिया फॉलो कर रही है. दे आर ट्राइंग टू रेस्ट्रिक्ट इट, बट देयर टाइम पीरियड्स में बी डिफरेंट. फॉर सम इट इज़ वेरी नियर, फॉर सम it may be different. So every country is trying to achieve this goal. लेकिन इसमें इशू एक चीज़ है कि फॉर टू अचीव दिस गोल they have to limit the use of fossil fuels, or they have to eliminate the use of fossil fuels. Fossil fuels, what are these? These are very essential, these are very essential elements for every country, because almost majority of the energy is drawn from these fossil fuels, and right now we are not in a position to eliminate that. And why we are not in the position to eliminate that? Because we can't see the any other replaceable thing. मतलब जो इस वक्त हमारी टेक्नोलॉजी ऐसी नहीं है या हमारी इकोनॉमिक कंडीशंस ऐसी नहीं है कि हम फॉसिल फ्यूल्स को रिप्लेस कर सकते हैं. सो उसके लिए अगरचे हम कर सकते हैं, वी कैन रिप्लेस द फॉसिल फ्यूल्स, बट वी नीड सम मतलब कि अल्टरनेट उसके लिए. और जो उसके लिए मेजर अल्टरनेट है, दैट इज सीन कि हम अगर हम देखेंगे फॉसिल फ्यूल्स यूजुअली कहाँ होते हैं, मतलब यूजुअली इन इंडस्ट्रीज, इंजन्स, मतलब अगर हम देखेंगे जहाँ पे भी यूज़ होता है, इट इज़ फॉर द एनर्जी जनरेशन. fossil fuels are used for the energy generation. So हम energy अब या तो fossil fuels के थ्रू ले सकते, or by the nuclear, or by electrical means, और मतलब या electrical means, or by natural resources. अगर हम wind energy यूज़ करेंगे, या मतलब कि water energy, या और कुछ wave energy, वो सब यूज़ करेंगे, या solar energy. But to use these to मतलब कि ये एनर्जी को यूज़ करने के लिए we need batteries जो स्टोर करे इस एनर्जी को. For those batteries we need critical minerals, but right now in our country we are lacking these critical minerals. हमारे पास उतना मतलब it is not easily available for us to get these critical minerals, so that it is not easy for us to move away from the fossil fuels. Right now this race has started, मतलब हमारी कंट्री में भी we had मतलब हमारी रेस स्टार्ट हुई तो मतलब कि हम we to get these fossil fuels, for example lithium, graphite and phosphorate. We had found some local domestic reserves in India. For example, we had found phosphorate blocks which were discovered in Chhattisgarh. We had found phosphate and nickel in Rajasthan, graphite in Jharkhand, tungsten and vanadium in northeast states, tungsten reserves in Tamil Nadu, cobalt and manganese in Karnataka, and lithium reserves in Jammu and Kashmir. But for us, our technology has not upgraded to that level that we can extract them. And there is the companies also fear, the private firms, they also fear that if they would take these projects, they are not sure that they can मतलब कि ये इनको ऐसे यूज कर सकते हैं कि so that they can earn the profit. They are fearing that they will lose their money if they would invest in it, because उनके पास श्योरिटी नहीं है कि हम इसको यूज कर सकते हैं. So with this regard, this article मतलब कि ये जो आज मतलब अभी का article है, India's hunt for critical minerals, it revolves around this concept. Now let's let's see it in the little bit technical way. हमने पहली चीज़ जो पढ़ी कि जो इंडिया ने लाइसेंसेस, माइनिंग एंड लाइसेंसेस लॉ जो अमेंड किया था, अकॉर्डिंग टू दैट अमेंडमेंट द गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया उन्होंने ये प्रोवाइड किए माइनिंग लाइसेंसेस टू द प्राइवेट फर्म्स, सो दैट मतलब जिसकी वजह से दे कैन these मतलब कि ये जो according to this mining amendment revamp mining mines and minerals law इसके लिहाज से they you know uh, they मतलब कि इन्होंने they listed out 30 important critical minerals which included lithium, cobalt, nickel, copper, phosphate, graphite and all that. So they had listed these 30 critical minerals which are these. Now what are these critical minerals? We should know that these are essential these are the limited elements which are essential for the transactions we are making in the economy. It is essential for the geostrategic positioning, geostrategy right now. Geostrategic importance is key because every country is hunting for these critical minerals. So to achieve the goal and also to achieve the goal of the Paris Agreement, we need to move away from the fossil fuels and adopt cleaner forms of energy. More efficient batteries are required. For those more efficient batteries we need these critical elements. अगर और हम दूसरी बात देखेंगे, अगर हम लिथियम का देखेंगे which is also the critical mineral, in last 1 year only 30% increase for lithium we had seen according to the International Energy Agency. उनकी रिपोर्ट के तहत जो लिथियम का मतलब की डिमांड है that has increased to the 30% in the last 1 year. Also अगर हम देखेंगे जिन कंट्रीज के पास इस वक्त these critical minerals है, they have the huge advantage in the coming years, and we are seeing that China is having dominant control over these critical minerals. So India mostly India has a lot of import dependency on China on these critical minerals itself and on other countries too. And also we could see that there are few minerals which are which 100% import dependencies. For example, lithium, we are 100% import dependent on it. Cobalt, nickel, vanadium, niobium, germanium and other and tantalum and other such elements which we cannot right now, which we are not in a position to generate them in our own country. So we are 100% dependent on the foreign countries, especially China, Chile and other countries. And also India has found some we even though we are dependent, we don't have such technology to convert these minerals into the useful way. But we had found some domestic reservoirs in our country. For example, we already discussed about few, and we discussed about the lithium reservoirs in Jammu and Kashmir. And also we have the we had set up the Kabil framework which is set up to ensure supply of critical minerals under the Ministry of Coal and Mines. It is set up by the public sector enterprises. And also our relation with the lithium triangle has increased. We are trying to boost our relationship and to boost our critical minerals trade. And about lithium triangle, these are Argentina, Chile and which one is the third country? Argentina, Chile, and there is someone it is not coming to my mind, but I would definitely take up this in the quiz session. So this was about this article, India's hunt for critical minerals, the way we are lacking these and the dependency we have on the other countries, and the recent discoveries of critical minerals in our domestic, in our country itself. And now the problem is with the taking them. And also we discussed about how we amended miners and mineral laws and how according to them the licensing are given to the private firms, but how private firms fear that by taking these projects it may harm them rather than benefiting them. So there is much to discuss about it. There would be more articles related to this, I am sure about it, and we will discuss them in the upcoming classes. Now, moving to the third article of today's discussion, it is about the Indian workers in Italy. We had seen the huge protest in from the Indian migrant workers. इसका reason क्या है कि मतलब इसकी एक story है. There was a worker था. He was working in the agricultural field, and because of some machine his arm trap हुई और वो कट गई. एंड जब उसकी आर्म कट गई तो उसकी बीवी वाइफ शी वेंट टू द ओनर के हमें इस वक्त आप कोई चीज़ ऐसी लाए, मतलब कि इसको हॉस्पिटल जल्दी पहुंचाए ताकि इसकी कम से कम इसकी जान बच सकती है, बट ही रिफ्यूज्ड और उसने इसको लाइटली लिया और उसकी वजह से वो मर गए। और एंड दैट लेड टू द protest from the different trade unions, from the migrant unions, or इस वक्त, and Italy became the hot tub of the protest right now from the migrant workers. And it is said that there is this slavery and exploitation for workers, उनको they are giving very low wages for the hard work they are doing, और मतलब कि उनकी हेल्थ का ख्याल नहीं रखा जाता। इट इज़ लाइक दे आर द स्लेव्स ऑफ द पीपल देयर। यूजुअली दीज वर्कर्स आर ट्रैक्ड, और मतलब इनको लाया जाता है थ्रू ब्रोकर्स, जो उनको झूठ बताया जाता है। देयर पासपोर्ट्स आर सीज्ड, और उनको बहुत ही कम पैसे दिए जाते हैं। और दे आर फ्रॉम दे हैड कम टू द इटली थ्रू द डंकी रूट illegally, and they are staying there. Right now, if we would see, our relationship with Italy is very good, and there is the huge presence of Sikh community there. The diaspora is very good there, almost 2 lakh people, Indian diaspora is there. And also, so in simpler terms we could say that our relation, अगर हम देखेंगे political relation, वो बहुत अच्छे हैं मतलब हमारी इटली के साथ विद द इटालियन गवर्नमेंट। मगर इशू है कि जो वर्कर्स है वहाँ पे उनको एक्सप्लॉइट किया जाता है। अब अगर हम देखेंगे व्हाट इज़ द रीज़न, मतलब कि वाई, और मतलब कि वाई आर इंडियन पीपल वर्किंग देयर दीज लो स्किल्ड जॉब्स, उसका एक रीज़न है बिकॉज ऑफ द डेमोग्राफी ऑफ द इटली। राइट नाउ इटली का जो मतलब कि जो मेजॉरिटी पॉपुलेशन दे आर ओल्ड पीपल, मतलब वहाँ पे बूढ़े लोग रहते हैं बेसिकली ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा, और they have very less population of the younger generation or of the low skilled people. So for that they need the outsiders to work in their fields, and for that reason only they give the permits to the workers for few months, for example for the agricultural seasons। और उसी की वजह से these people from the India, they travel there and work in the fields as local low skilled jobs। तो what did we understood the demography in the इटली, ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा बूढ़े लोग हैं। अगर हम देखेंगे, ऐसा एक क्वेश्चन आया भी था रिसेंटली एग्जाम में कि हमें बताना था कि कहाँ कहाँ किस किस कंट्री में जो डेमोग्राफी है दैट इज़ ऑफ ओल्ड पीपल। सो इन सिंपलर टर्म्स इटली का डेमोग्राफी, जो लोग हैं वो बूढ़े हैं, and they don't have the man force to work in the field, so for that they need the low skilled people to work in their fields to do these मतलब कि छोटे छोटे काम करे वहाँ पे। फॉर दैट उसी की वजह से ब्रोकर्स वो लोगों को वहाँ लेते काम करने के लिए, एंड सम आर डिसीव्ड, और जो फिर लोकल businessmen होते, they are treating these migrant workers very badly। and this is all about this article कि how it revolved। जो main focus point है इस article में वो demography of Italy because of the lower पॉपुलेशन, मतलब यंगर पॉपुलेशन, उनके पास बूढ़े लोग हैं। उसकी वजह क्या मैं समझता हूँ, इसकी वजह ये है कि फैमिली प्लानिंग, दैट इज़ द मेन रीज़न कि हम एक दो बच्चे रखेंगे, एक ही बच्चा रखेंगे। सो बिकॉज ऑफ दैट क्या होता है, फैमिली प्लानिंग लो लेटर, मतलब कि जब मतलब कि 30 साल के बाद शादियाँ होती है तो दैट लीड्स टू दिस, मतलब कि बच्चों की शादियाँ बहुत लेट हो जाती है। दैट इज़ दीज आर सम ऑफ द रीजन्स कि जो डेमोग्राफी वो चेंज होते हैं वेरी बैडली। और राइट नाउ इन इंडिया, अगर हम इंडिया की डेमोग्राफी देखें, वी एंजॉय द यूथ इन इंडिया, बट द recent trends we had adopted, and it is said that after some time we would also go through this phase that Italy is going right now। So this was an important point in it to remember। And another point, the permits they give for seasonal reasons, the abuse of workers like they are their slaves, and protests from the migrant workers। So this was about the Indian workers in Italy। Now moving to the another important article of today's discussion, it is about Kerala set to use technology to handle man-animal conflict। अगर हम देखेंगे मतलब कि केरला में यूजुअली देयर आर वाइल्ड एनिमल्स, दे आर हंटेड, मतलब और फ्रॉम द वाइल्ड एलिफेंट्स वो क्रॉप दे डिस्ट्रॉय द क्रॉप्स एंड ऑल दैट स्टफ। इसका मेन रीज़न क्या है, बिकॉज द ग्रोइंग पॉपुलेशन इन आवर कंट्री, वी आर एंटरिंग टूवर्ड्स द हैबिटेट्स ऑफ दीज वाइल्ड एनिमल। देखो वाइल्ड एनिमल को एक जेनेटिक इंफॉर्मेशन होती है कि उनको कहाँ से जाना है, कहाँ तक जाना है, दैट इज़ within their मतलब उन्होंने that understood की है, so they would never come to the मतलब कि वो लोगों के हैबिटेट में नहीं आते, बट जो हमने उनके हैबिटेट में जाना चाहा बिकॉज ऑफ द इंक्रीजिंग पॉपुलेशन डिफॉरेस्टेशन, वो तो अपने एरिया में आते हैं, बट वी हैड टुक इट फ्रॉम देम. So we had seen these, because of this reason we had seen many man animal conflict, many wild animals died, many elephants died hunted by the people, and we had seen many children are being killed by these wild animals, and also we had seen many accidents on railways and all other stuff. So to avoid this conflict, the government in Kerala, they are set to use the AI tools and drones to track these wild animals. So drone images, AI technology, even advanced sensors are used कि जब भी कोई wild animal आए तो that would give us the prior information that animal is coming in our habitat, और वो सब चीज़ें पता चले, उसकी वजह से we can track this down, and हम इसको कम कर सकते हैं this conflict को. मतलब कि अगर हमें traditional, we have advanced sensors on railway tracks. If any wild animal will cross the railway track and will come near the railway track, it will give the information to the rail, to the to the train, so that they could stop it before they would hit the animal. And also AI, मतलब कि अगर हम AI technology use करें या drones, that would give the images of the animals entering the habitat, and it would inform the people about that, so it could avoid the human animal conflict also. And it is said that besides using the technological methods, we should also use the traditional methods used by the people. For example, biofencing, जिसमें हम मतलब कि चिल्ली कल्टिवेशन करें, मतलब कि अराउंड देयर फील्ड्स. इट इज़ सेड दैट कि जो एलिफेंट्स दे डोंट कम नियर चिल्लीज. ऑल्सो हम बी हाइव्स लगाएंगे अराउंड देयर फील्ड्स. इट इज़ सेड दैट यूजुअली वाइल्ड एनिमल्स दे टेंड टू अवॉइड द बीज. So these are some ways in which we can avoid these conflicts. It is said that both the traditional and scientific ways should be merged together, and using both these ways we could eliminate this, or we can at least reduce the man animal conflict. This was brought by the Kerala government. Now moving towards India Bangladesh connectivity, इसमें हमें एक चीज़ पता होनी चाहिए. For India to access the northeast, it is very hard for them. They have only the Siliguri corridor, that is called the chicken neck of the country, and it is very hard for them to go through that. So to avoid this, we मतलब कि हम इसको अच्छे से avoid कर सकते हैं by developing the relationship with the Bangladesh, to have the land based transportation, rail based transportation and sea based transport. If we have these transportations with Bangladesh, with better transportation, we could handle this issue very easily. और अगर हम देखेंगे जो नॉर्थ ईस्ट का एरिया, दैट इज़ लैंड लॉक्ड एरिया, एंड बाय इफ वी कनेक्ट दैट विद, मतलब कि अगर हम मतलब कि जो बांग्लादेश के साथ रिलेशन की वजह से हम उनको कनेक्ट कर सकते हैं विद द सी, एंड वी कुड access the northeast easily. So isi related, we have Mongla port and Chottagram port in Bangladesh. They are connected with the Kolkata port, so that it could make the it could make the trade, or transportation easy from India to north, from rest of India to the northeast through the Bangladesh region. We could also अगर हम देखेंगे जो हमारा most गंगा वाटर से that go through Bangladesh के through जाता है. So we can use the inland water routes by which these inland water routes could be connected to the ports, and we can connect the northeast to the rest of India via Bangladesh. So this is a little article about this. Here we have to remember about the Mongla port and Chottagram port, which are connected with the Kolkata port. These are important terms which could be asked in the exam. Now moving forward to the Vibrant Villages program, it was brought by the Home Ministry to जो चाइना के इर्द गिर्द गाँव हैं उनको मतलब कि to upgrade the villages around the China, वहाँ उनकी situation को improve करना, along the border villages of China. It is important why this was brought in. इनको इस Vibrant Village program को क्यों लाया गया था? It is important इसको Vibrant Village programs, why was it brought in? It was brought in because it is important to ensure that the people living in these areas are पॉपुलेटेड और दे आर वेरी मच, मतलब कि उनकी जो एरियाज होते हैं चाइना के बॉर्डर के इर्द गिर्द वो पॉपुलेटेड होने चाहिए। पहली बात, अगर वहाँ पे वो लोग पॉपुलेटेड नहीं रहेंगे, द विलेजेस नियर द बॉर्डर, तो द अनदर कंट्री विल क्लेम दैट दिस एरिया इज, मतलब कि डिस्प्यूटेड, और वो अंदर आ सकते हैं। सो इट इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू कीप दिस विलेजेस पॉपुलेटेड। और दूसरी बात ये कि अब वो कैसे पॉपुलेटेड रहेंगे अगर हम उनके पास टेक्नोलॉजी नहीं देंगे, अगर हम उनको एजुकेशन नहीं देंगे, अगर हम उनको बेसिक फैसिलिटीज़ नहीं देंगे। सो दे वुड डेफिनेटली मूव अवे फ्रॉम दैट एरिया एंड गो एंड माइग्रेट टू अदर एरियाज which are safer for them. So under this vibrant village program, it is said that the basic needs would be fulfilled of the people. For example, internet diya jayega, schools, hospitals will be opened so that these villages will remain populated, and it would help India in their cause. और इसी की similar to the vibrant village program, we have border area development program along all the borders around the country. So it is related to all the borders around the country. It focuses on this vibrant village program. It focuses on establishing 4G internet, increase tourism in the area, create job creation in the area, provide basic facilities in the area, so that to keep the villages around the China border populated and to help India in their cause. और टू, मतलब कि इनको पॉपुलेट, इनको ये सब चीज़ें दे ताकि इनको ये सारी चीज़ें दे ताकि दे वुड गेन द लॉयल्टी ऑफ द पीपल लिविंग इन दैट एरिया, एंड विच वुड डेफिनेटली हेल्प इंडिया इन देयर कॉज। मतलब अगर कभी वार हो तो उस वक्त इट वुड हेल्प इंडिया, या कोई इन्फिल्ट्रेशन हो उस एरिया से, सो दैट द लोकल पीपल विल कॉल द authorities and that could be curbed. So with this regard, let's move to the last article of today's discussion. It is about the Chandipura virus. It has led to the death of 4 children. This Chandipura virus spreads through the vectors, usually mosquito and other vectors also. And this Chandipura virus, it could lead to the acute encephalitis, which is the inflammation of brain, and finally could kill the child, kill the person who जिसको ये इन्फेक्ट हुआ हो. So this was about it. We would discuss about this in a question forum in quiz session also. So do stay with me and do like and subscribe the channel. It would definitely, it would be like a appreciation from you guys if you will subscribe to this channel. Thank you for staying. Thank you very much.